Hey guys, it's Rebekah. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to come to you guys and tell you a little bit about what happened this weekend because it was crazy. Okay, so I went to the lake, but before we left, I went to this Relay for Life for my school, and I stayed up for like 24 hours. So I was so tired by the time we left already. So that just put me like below where I should have been. And honestly, it was so insane. Um, I slept through most of the ride there because obviously I was tired. But the ride was only like 2 hours, so I got like an hour and a half of sleep. And so when we got there, we set up our camper and we took our jet skis down to the water and we launched them. Well, by the time we got around to the beach where we were meeting a bunch of my dad's friends, it was like 1 or so, and we had got there at 11. And so they're all like, "Oh, why are you so late?" And we're like, "Whatever, forget you guys." And so we were just hanging out on the beach talking and going out on jet skis every once in a while and just having fun. And then a storm hit. And so for the people that don't live in New Mexico or don't go down to Elephant Butte, pretty much every day from 4 to 5, it storms. And anybody who's been there more than 3 times knows it. And so we had to hold on to the canopies and everything we had set up for shade while it was storming for like an hour. And so we were holding it, we were braving the storm, and it felt like a bunch of kind of like babies being shot at you over and over and over again all around your body. And then there's the smaller raindrops that feel like needles like hammering into you. And the wind was so crazy, it was so hard. But after the storm, we kind of just hung out a little bit more. Then me and my family went back up. We took showers, we got changed, and we ate dinner and stuff. And we went back down to where they were camping. We were camping up with like electricity and water because my mom was like, "I'm not tent camping anymore." And so yeah, we went up there and we ate dinner and we came back down and we were gonna have a bonfire or just a campfire. And I guess while we were gone, one of the guys was cutting firewood with a hatchet, and he was holding it while he was doing it, and so he immediately cut his thumb off. And so he was trying to ask, well, "Oh, it's fine, it's fine." And so they didn't have like gauze or anything, so they put a tampon on it and wrapped it in like gauze. No, not gauze. It was something else, but they wrapped it, and so all night he had a tampon and a tampon strap wrapped on his thumb, and that's all they had. Because we obviously were camping, and so that happened, and then we were just were around the fire, and we were laughing, and there was jokes, and it was a lot of fun, just kind of like chilling with them and hanging out, and one of the guys was so funny, and so it was so much fun. So we had, so the next day we woke up and we got dressed and we launched the jet skis and we came around, and it was 11-ish when we got to the beach and stuff, and we were just kind of hanging out and playing around and messing around, and we were going out on the jet skis every once in a while, and somehow all the other guys had kids like 4-ish, like 4. And somehow I ended up playing with them and kind of babysitting them. And so I was messing with them. And one of the girls decided we were going to play Steal Away, where I was the monster and I had to steal them away. And I love kids, so I was like, okay, we'll play. And so I was playing that. And this game had 4 parts. No, not 1, not 2, no, 4. And so every time I'd say, "Okay, let's play something else," she'd be like, "No, we gotta play part 2. We gotta play part 3." And so I was literally playing with these kids for like 4 or 5 hours. And so after that, I was like, okay, I need some me time. So I took a jet ski out, and I was playing around on the jet ski. And my dad had taken my brother out on the inner tube, which is basically a string and then kind of like a blow-up round, like like kind of like the kiddie rings, except for it's got a bottom, and you just kind of sit in it, and they'll pull you, and you'll go flying, and you'll wipe out and stuff. And so we took that out, and he got stopped by the rangers because it was only my dad on the jet ski, and he's supposed to have two people, one to drive and look ahead, and another to turn around with their back facing forward and watch the person in the inner tube. That and holding the flag, so that when he goes down, they put the flag up so people know if there's somebody in the water, and the person that was on the back can automatically tell the one in front, he's down, stop. And so he didn't have somebody on the back, and so he got stopped by the Coast Guard, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm not supposed to be out here because I don't have a license yet, and I have to do that next summer. But so technically I'm not supposed to be out there alone. And so I quickly brought it in, and I hooked it up, and I walked into the camp, and I'm like, they got stopped by the rangers. I came back, and they're like, I'm like, what if we get a ticket? Oh my gosh. And they're like, no, what are you talking about? You were never out there. You were babysitting my kids. And so that was the plan, because I was never out on the water. Not by myself. I would never do that. And so they brought, the rangers brought my dad and my brother in, and we didn't have the registration for the jet skis with us because it was in the truck, which was over in the marina where we where we launched the jet skis from. And it was like, and so we weren't allowed to go back out until we went and got the registration. So one of the guys took my mom, and they went to get the registration. And so we just had to hang out and play games until they got back because we couldn't go out on the water. And you know, after that, okay, we went and we took showers and we got ready and we ate dinner and stuff. And then we went down and we had another bonfire. But this one was so much funnier than the other one because one of the guys he wasn't even drunk, no, he just loved to play with fire. And so we were like, oh, and he's like, have you guys ever tried to melt a penny? It's actually really cool. So we're going to melt a penny. And so we got a penny, and we got the bottle cap for a beer bottle, and then he put the penny in the beer bottle, and he stuck it like right at the bottom in the middle of the fire. And they're like, and so we watch it, and it melts and stuff, and we were throwing like cans and water bottles and stuff in there to watch them melt. And then we're like, and so the bottle cap, the penny inside the bottle cap wouldn't melt. So they got a wrought iron skillet, and the guy asked his wife, he's like, can I use this? Can I stick it in the fire? And she's like, that's what we used to make. He's like, that's not what I'm asking. Can I put it in the fire? And she's like, I guess. Like, this is totally normal. And so, and I guess for them it was, but we just watched them. And he was so excited by the fire, and he was like throwing stuff in the fire. He's like, yeah, fire, and all this stuff. So he puts the bottle cap on the skillet, and he sticks it in there again. And so we watch it burn for a little bit, and then we take it out, and it's all melted, and it's so cool. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Okay, so we melted it, and he took it out of the bottle cap, and it looked like this. And so that was pretty cool. And he gave it to me, so I have to make something awesome out of it, like a necklace or a ring or something. I'm not sure what I'm going to make out of it yet, but it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. And so we had, and that took like 15 minutes to make because we kept having to move it and figure out how to do it. And it just wasn't working. And so he decided, let's do a science experiment. So I took the skillet, and we put half with sand and half with wet sand. And he's like, we're going to make glass. We can do it. And so we put the sand in the fire again, and they were making glass. And so we were just laughing and trying to make glass and just joking around and having fun. We were listening to music and dancing, and it was a lot of fun. It was like a huge bonfire. And so we were all happy and excited, and we got back, and then the next day we drove back, and we put the camper away and the jet skis away, and we got back, and we were just kind of hanging out, all of us were really, really tired. So we were just kind of relaxing, and I was on the computer. My mom and my brother were watching TV. My dad was sleeping. We were just kind of hanging out. And then the doorbell rings. And we're like, who could that be? We don't know anybody that would come. So we go to my dad and my brother answer the door, and then my brother runs to my mom's room. So I followed him, and guess my mom went to sleep, and my brother's trying to get her awake, and he's like, Mom, 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 Chuck died. And my mom springs out of bed, and we all go in. Chuck is my across the street neighbor. He's been there since we moved in, which was like when I was like 7, and so he's known me for half my life, and he's been battling cancer for the past 4 or 5 years. And so we get out there and we're talking to his son, and I guess he went to have surgery the day before, and he passed away on the operating table. And so this hit us really hard because he was such a good friend. Every time we'd come home, he'd be out working on his car in his RV, and so we would just, he'd wave and we'd talk, and he was just such a good friend to us, and I can't believe it. And so his funeral's on Friday, and well, I'm sorry. And so, yeah, that's basically how my weekend went. And so, today I had to register for school, and that sucks. Back to boring old life, I guess. But anyways, like and subscribe if you thought this was funny, or just if I entertained you. I like to entertain people. Alright, so I'll see you guys next week. Peace out, Girl Scout.